Could your job be next? It's September 2nd, and we're going to be talking about emergency preparedness. Not just the doomsday, not the EMPs, not the grid down, not the hierarchy of the prepping tier. We are going to be talking about the general everyday prepping that everyone needs to be a little bit prepared for. Job loss is possible. And that is one of the things that we prepare for. I am watching so many people talking about how they've lost their jobs, how they've lost their one source of income. How are they going to pay their bills? That their electricity bill is $1,100 for the month of August. That their home insurance prices keep going up. The fires keep happening. Nobody's getting their houses fixed. Everywhere you look, there's a crack. And those cracks lead to bigger breaks. And people start falling through those breaks. So we're going to talk about the job loss. And one of the reasons why 90% of us prep is to have some sort of insurance plan. We're not here talking about what if or when those EMPs are going to go off. We're talking about the realistics of your job is not certain, but your pantry and the way you prep your home can help break down those uncertainties because the world is full of them right now. Currently, the way I look at what's going on everywhere across the world is there is massive data unload. Every day there's something new or something fearful out there that is causing a spiral. Now, I want you guys to take a breath, but what's the first thing that's most likely going to impact you? If you lose your income, you're starting to question how you're going to pay your mortgage, how you're going to keep your lights on, your water on. These are all things that we prep for. Every person out there tries to have a savings account, no matter how small or how big it is, for just in case of an emergency. Why not apply that and bring that into your home? September is about emergency preparedness. This is one of the areas we want to focus as heavy as we can. And that is building up your prepper pantry. That is, different types of gear. We're going to be talking about it all month long. But one of the biggest core fundamentals that I feel like a lot of people miss is what immediately impacts you right away. A job loss. How many of you guys know somebody who has recently lost their job? I do. I know quite a few. It seems like the job market is very uncertain right now. With AI technology taking other people's jobs, I make sure when I go to the grocery store that I am constantly going through my cashier's lanes instead of using those automatic checkouts because that's somebody's job that no longer exists. It seems like they're trying to replace a lot of people, human beings, with technology. AI already freaks me out on such a different level. It impacts my life where I get really nervous on the idea of AI having this many details to our lives. Well, on the other hand, corporations look at it as I'm saving a little bit more money. Remember, corporations don't care about the humans, but you care about your income, right? You're directly impacted by it. It's how you have a home for your children. It's how you're able to feed your children or feed yourself. Understand that your prepper pantry, if you have a job right now, to start focusing and working as quickly and as fast as you can to really make an impact of, okay, these are the areas I'm going to stock up on because we don't see inflation going down. Every time I hear, oh, inflation's only at 2.7%. 2.7% for who? I know I've personally seen jumps way higher than 2.7% on multiple different items, essential items, not just a random article of clothing that I'm choosing to buy. It is everywhere. For this month, I want to challenge you guys. Don't eat out, eat at home, go through your shelves. It's September. We can call it Shelftember. I'm going through one of our deep freezers. Today's dinner was chicken, rice, and a gravy. That's what it was. Went through some of our food that we haven't used up and wanted to make sure I made room in our freezer to prep a little bit more. Because with the steady rise of increase of beef prices, beef is essential for my home. But I'm also looking at alternative food sources such as chicken, turkey, other sources of meat, pork, to cover in where those beef costs are getting so expensive. So as we go into the month of emergency preparedness, I don't want just doomsday looming up here. Yes, do I prepare for doomsday? Absolutely. I mean, it's in my name. But if we can get every household focusing on the things that they can control, because there's a lot of information going out. I mean, news articles, just even today, news articles about Venezuela and all of these other things. It's constant. And you know what I think is happening? They're desensitizing you so that if one more strike happens, one more thing escalates, it doesn't shock you. If they keep you in constant chaos, when the chaos does occur, you don't really realize it's happening. They're desensitizing you to everything. There's a news article every other week for the last 6 years, you guys, wanting us to be pitted against each other, focusing on different things where we forget where your core fundamentals need to be. Focusing on your home, focusing on what you can control, whether that is starting your first fall garden or taking a hike, working on your physical fitness, or just doing some basic skills. Water preservation will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, you guys, I'm going to show you guys the easiest, simplest way. Not everybody will like that way I do it, but it's so simple and it only takes 5 minutes. But you can focus your areas of what you can control. Prepping is about an insurance plan. It's about understanding that you are creating your own insurance. You don't have to cash in on your policy. You don't have to see if you have unemployment waiting for you. You have a way to prep and prepare for your future and your family's future. So even if that means that you've only picked up a 5-pound bag of rice for the week, I'm proud of you. Because the way that this overstimulation is happening, I mean, constantly. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? They're talking about martial law. There's so much information overload every which way you look. Do I trust the government? Absolutely not. But am I going to stomp my feet and call out what I think is horrible? No, I'm observing. I'm taking note. I'm watching what they are watching, and understand with all this technology, AI technology, they could be calculating who is against whatever regime or whatever is happening. They could. That's not paranoia. That's just taking in all the environment around you. I want you guys to focus on your home. Set small goals. It's the month of September. We're getting ready to head into winter. If your focus for September's preps is, I want to prepare more for the winter, or if it's a step further, I want to be planning on how I'm going to be preserving my food so that I have that self-sustainability. You can prep and stack all you want, but if you miss that little slice of homesteading, they go hand in hand. Prepping and homesteading go hand in hand together, because the self-sustainability, you can stack all the food you want, but what happens when you can't grow it? Practice your skills. Set some goals, whether it's small goals. This month, I'm going to put away 5 more gallons of water for my family. Or this month, I'm going to try to have a week's supply of shelf-stable food. Or even something bigger of, I want to start looking into solar energy. Setting your goals and achieving your goals is a lot easier when you're focusing on the things that can affect your home. A job loss can affect your home. We've seen it with the prices. We've seen it with gas prices going up, electricity prices going up. We're trying to set ourselves up so that we are no longer dependent on that system, because that system is crippling people. It is crippling them and ripping them apart. Everyone is on edge and everyone is becoming enemies to each other. Nobody is each other's friends anymore. It is becoming very scary on how quickly civil unrest and watching a collapse in our society. The edges, there's cracks everywhere, and they're severing further and further apart. But understand, your job isn't always for certain. It's not. We saw it during the pandemic. You know, business owners being put down. They couldn't work. There is an uncertainty out there. And so it's not just for your bank account to have a backup. It's on things you can control. A gal came into my chat earlier today, and this is what actually motivated this video, is she experienced a job loss. And she said, I'm glad I have a stockpile. She said she can cover her mortgage and she can cover her bills by going into her stockpile and using that food for her and her family to survive on. They're not dependent on that paycheck coming in right now. Are they hurting? Yes. Will their supplies start to dwindle? Yes. But that's a problem for a different day. Your food stock is there for you to cash in on an emergency. It is there for when those emergencies do hit. And I want you guys to understand that. You're not waiting for a policy to find out if they will cover you or if they won't. But remember, this is the month of preparedness. So we have to be prepared on every aspect of our lives. We can't just focus on the big fish of what will or could happen at any point. We have to focus on the things that can affect you no matter who you are. And so one of the big ones is, what are you going to do if you lose your job? What is the first area that you're going to go into? Do you have enough money to saved up till you can find a new job? Do you have enough money saved up that you can just go blow on groceries? And people are making big choices right now between paying their mortgage or feeding their kids. And I see it everywhere. I see it on all different types of pages. I'm always scrolling to kind of get a gist of what's happening everywhere. It's impacting a lot of people. And the numbers of unemployment aren't out yet. But we all know that AI is being encouraged in every aspect of our life. And that could be taking people's jobs. It truly can. I mean, they don't have to pay a robot. They don't have to pay something that's inanimate, an inanimate object. They will never have to pay for it. They'll pay for the program, but they don't have to worry about that 401. They don't have to worry about that LOD, or if that person is showing up to work. They don't have to worry about it. So remember, a lot of the times when we're focused on all this other stuff that's going on, we forget that there's some small areas that we can focus on in our own home. Job loss is one of those. Illness, hospitalization, surgeries, being without an income for a brief moment of time or a long moment of time. Your pantry is the first step, and making sure that you keep an eye on your pantry, your food pantry, shelf-stable food, first in, first out. And as always, stay aware, stay prepared, and always have your head on a swivel. I'll see you tomorrow.